Good evening.
Good evening. How are
Hello.
you?
I'm so good. Wonderful, in fact.
It's got to be very, very late where you are, isn't it?
It's about midnight. I'm in Clermont-Ferrand in the central Massif of France. It's not too late. We just finished the show about half an hour ago.
Yeah, I don't get to do many interviews that happen right after a show on the other side of the world, so this is exciting for me, and I wasn't even there. So,
oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Good.
You've been quite busy lately on this tour. It seems like it's taken you to all parts of the world over there.
Yeah. Very much so. We're coming, hopefully, to the US in around October.
Oh, that's exciting.
Around October time, we should be in the US. Yeah, very exciting, but it's great tour so far. It's a really good response. You know, it's a new album. We're just at the beginning of the promo and play, stage of the album. So, it's been great.
Cool.
Really great so far.
Congrats on that. The new record, Tale of Lions. Let me get that right.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a great record, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, I've read a little bit about it, too. It seems that there is a couple, I don't know if you want to call it themes or threads running through it, reflections on family life, even a little bit. I was reading the things you were saying about it being a little bit politically reactive, too, and I thought, well, how could it not?
Yeah, right now, huh?
I mean,
well, in the States with what's just happened in America and in the UK, obviously, where I was born and brought up in the UK, the whole thing with Brexit right now is a bit of a mess. And it was when I was starting to write the album, that was Trump had just been put forward as a nominee, and Brexit was they were just deciding on the vote for Brexit, so it was a very crazy time, and it all kind of went in a crazy direction.
Yeah.
The improbable definitely happened.
I mean, and that changes things too with a lot of artists. I mean, I've talked to a lot of artists right now because of the timeline we're in. That's how it's happened with people releasing new music. It seems like the music was written before it happened, when it was, it's never actually going to happen, but what if it did? And so those songs come out, and then when it does happen, the songs sort of take on an unfortunate new meaning. And has that happened with you?
No, because I think it was the same meaning. It wasn't just a reference to when I wrote the album. It was generally just looking at the world around us. Obviously, I live in Jerusalem, and I'm from London, and the world is changing so much in both those parts of the world right now. And it was kind of obvious where things were going. I hope we just everything gets resolved with peace and love and all those good things, as opposed to conflict and derision and negativity, which seems to be happening at the moment.
I mean, I'm hoping for the peace and love parts. I'm banking on the peace and love part.
Yeah,
I have faith in humanity.
Definitely. Yeah, I got a lot riding on it. I've got I've got kids, so I'm going to say hopeful. It will be okay.
I mean, I do see that in some of your songs. Whether or not it's specifically about that, obviously you have song titles like "Love Can Heal" and "You'll Be Fine," which I find is a really interesting phrase to end an album on. Not like you're going to be great and you're going to be awesome. It's like, listen, you're going to be fine.
I'm English, and the English are very pro understatement, so maybe that's why. But I don't know. You know what? Like, I really feel there's a lot of strong messaging and imagery and whatever out in the world right now, and I think a lot of people struggle with depression, or they struggle with frustration, or life isn't quite going in the direction they want it to, and I think "You'll Be Fine" specifically was written with those people in mind, that it's all going to be good. You just have to keep on going. You'll be all right. It's all going to work out. You can't say to someone who's on the edge of despair, be like, "It's all going to be great. Don't worry about it." You got to be like, "No, you got to be like, I feel your pain, and I know you're in a bad place right now, but don't worry, you're going to be okay."
You're going to be okay. That's nice. It's a good enough sentiment. That's what I thought. It's good enough.
You know what? I think it's better than that, because I think it's the reality. And I'm an optimistic person generally. I think I'm a very positive, optimistic person. But it's good to be a realist and manage expectations.
Well, I do want to say, in the other song that I mentioned there, "Love Can Heal," huge song. I mean, that's as anthem as you can get.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, just, I mean, the way that chorus builds, and the way a lot of these songs work like this, I don't know how it starts with you, because, a lot of these songs, they turn out in an electronic form with whatever instruments you're using. But how do they start? I mean, are you one of those that starts on a single instrument with just a piano or just a guitar?
Yeah, sure. I wrote "Love Can Heal" on a guitar like every other song.
Yeah.
It started out with me and a guitar, just writing down that verse. And then, it kind of builds up out of there.
But
it's it was the stars. Even those big electronic songs, whenever even Too Close, obviously the song I'm sort of most well known for. I mean, that started off just with playing a guitar hook over and over again.
Yeah, it's so interesting that how they can transform into what, like,
sure,
like how much time does that usually take? And I mean, I'm sure, like anything, some are easier than others, but
I try, when I get to a chorus, when I write a song, firstly, the first rule is I try and make it anthemic, like as big as I can make it. Mm-hmm. And the second rule is everyone should be able to relate to it, and everyone should be able to sing along with it as soon as they've heard it. When you play, I play a lot of live shows, obviously, and for me, it's a real gauge of a song when you have the audience with you singing. And when I write a chorus, I generally, I think less is more. Mm-hmm. Less is more, and you can get your point across and get people to relate to it.
Well, it's so cool what I've heard so far. And I know it's talked about a lot, but seriously, the whole story about recording on a boat, this album, the last album, is just cool. I mean, it is. It's just cool. And, well, go ahead. What's the story with you in the boat? Because it's worth telling again.
I love boats. I was brought up in London and born literally less than 1 minute's walk away from the River Thames. And I spent a lot of time on boats, a lot of time by the water. And I lived on a boat myself for a while. I lived on a Dutch barge in East London. And my Chris Hargreaves, my co-producer and my colleague musically, he moved onto a barge about 3 years ago. And we were just going to do some writing sessions. And the writing sessions turned into full production sessions. Started off with just getting together and just jamming on the boat. It's a nice environment to be in. You're by the water. You've got the wildlife there, and even though you're more or less in the center of the metropolitan area, if you're by the water, you might as well be 1,000 miles away from it. It's a real world unto itself, and a great place to write. I love the water. All my happiest memories are, spent being on the water or near the water. So it's a good place to write for me.
Right, and there's no technical issues with recording out there, other than
no. You know what? To write, really, all you need is a guitar. Mm-hmm. And a means to record, maybe a keyboard, and Chris obviously is a bass player, so we have the bass and we have everything set up and ready on an interface to go into a computer. And then if we want to record anything else, we take it to a studio and we will record record drums in the studio or other guitars that need to be tracked up. But in terms of songwriting, making beats and bass lines, you can do it all on a boat. You don't really need to have a massive studio. You can take a studio in a suitcase. You have a laptop and a good interface and a good control keyboard, and you're away. You're making music.
Yeah. Well, again, it's all made for a great album. I will say, of all of them, I think I've already picked a favorite. Like, everybody's got their favorite. I got my favorite. Gotta Get Up has such a great groove to it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know if there's a story behind that song.
Playing it live is, you know what? There's a lot of naysayers in the world. And I hate that. I hate naysayers. I'm trying to be as positive as I can and support someone in their growth and development. And Gotta Get Up was just written after being so fed up with negative people. Come on, get over it and turn your life around and try and see the good in everything. And Gotta Get Up is definitely a serious dance groove, and it's great to play live. The Gotta Get Up and probably Surviving Ain't Living. Those two live have been going so well at the shows in Europe so far. The crowd have been going absolutely nuts for those. I think also because I really enjoy playing them. When you enjoy playing something, you can jump around to it. It rubs off on the audience. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I had Surviving Ain't Living written down right after that one, so we're on the same page.
Good.
You're doing something
right.
It's
a good page to be on. I like it.
Yeah. Well, Alex, it was really nice meeting you on the phone, as it were, and hopefully we will see you in the States sooner than later. And
absolutely.
And
absolutely. I hope so.
Yeah, love this record. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your tour.
Thank you. See you in the States.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.